pack your carry-on following every rule you know. Size requirements, weight limits, prohibited items list. You've checked everything twice. Your bag meets all the official airline specifications and TSA regulations you can find online. But here's what they're not telling you. In 2025, airlines have quietly implemented new carry-on restrictions that go far beyond the published guidelines. Bags that look completely legal and have passed inspection for years are now being rejected at gates, forcing passengers to pay unexpected fees or miss their flights entirely. These aren't official policy changes announced to the public. They're internal operational adjustments that gate agents and crew members are enforcing without updating customer-facing information or websites. Your perfectly compliant carry-on might violate new dimensional requirements, weight restrictions, or construction standards that airlines are using to generate additional revenue through forced bag checks. Stick around, because carry-on issue number 4 affects 80% of the most popular carry-on bags sold today. And passengers are only finding out their bags are illegal when they're standing at the gate with boarding about to close. Let's jump in. Carry-on issue number 8, soft-sided bags that expand beyond limits. Your soft-sided carry-on looks perfectly sized when empty, meets all published dimensions, fits in the airline's sizing guides, and has worked fine on previous flights. You pack it normally for your trip, not overstuffing, but using the available space. But when packed, that soft bag now exceeds the new micro-measurement requirements. According to former gate operations manager Rebecca Martinez, airlines have implemented precise measurement protocols that account for bag expansion when packed. Soft-sided bags that meet empty dimensions often exceed limits when filled, but passengers don't know this until gate inspection. Here's what most travelers don't realize. The published carry-on dimensions assume rigid bag construction that doesn't expand when packed. Soft-sided bags naturally bulge beyond their stated dimensions when filled with clothing and travel items. And the new enforcement measures actual packed dimensions, not the bag's theoretical empty size. This next detail will shock you. A business traveler flying from Chicago to Denver had used the same soft-sided carry-on for 2 years without issues. In March 2025, gate agents measured the pack bag and found it exceeded limits by 2 inches, forcing her to pay $89 for gate checking a bag she'd carried on dozens of times. The bag's empty dimensions were legal, but packed dimensions violated the new micro-measurement protocols. Current airline operations coordinator David Chen reveals, soft-sided bag enforcement targets bags that expand beyond rigid dimension limits when packed. We measure actual bag size at the gate, not manufacturer specifications or empty dimensions. But here's what's really predatory. Airlines know that most soft-sided bags will exceed dimensions when packed, but they don't warn customers about the expansion factor. Former revenue optimization specialist Lisa Park explains, the soft-sided bag restrictions are designed to generate forced check bag revenue. We know these bags expand when packed, but we let customers discover the problem at the gate when they have no choice but to pay fees. The soft-sided bag expansion creates forced check bag fees for bags that appear to meet published requirements. Choose hard-sided or rigid carry-ons that maintain exact dimensions when packed. Avoid soft-sided bags that can expand beyond stated limits. If you prefer soft-sided bags, pack them well under capacity to account for expansion that gate agents will measure at boarding. Most travelers don't realize that bag expansion when packed can make legal bags suddenly non-compliant with new micro-measurement enforcement. Don't say we didn't warn you. Carry-on issue number 7, bags with external pockets that add bulk. Your carry-on has external pockets for organization and accessibility. Front pockets for documents, side pockets for water bottles, various external compartments that help organize your travel items efficiently. Standard features on most modern carry-on luggage, but those external pockets now violate new, uniform dimension requirements. According to current TSA equipment specialist Patricia Williams, external pockets are being flagged as dimension violations because they add bulk beyond the bag's primary measurements. Agents are instructed to measure bags including all external protrusions. Here's what catches most organized travelers. External pockets that seem like helpful features are now treated as dimension violations that exceed carry-on size limits. Even small external pockets can push a bag over the new strict measurement requirements when they're filled with travel documents, electronics, or personal items. and the measurement includes any external protrusion, regardless of how small or functional. This next case is unbelievable. A consultant flying from Atlanta to Seattle had her carry-on rejected because the front pocket containing her laptop charger added 1.5 inches to the bag's depth measurement. The same bag had been approved on 30-plus flights in 2024, but the external pocket now violated new uniform dimension standards. She was forced to either empty the external pockets or pay for gate checking, despite the bag meeting all previous requirements. Current gate measurement coordinator Michael Rodriguez reveals, external pocket protocols require measuring bags with all pockets filled to their normal usage capacity. Any external feature that adds to base dimensions can trigger size violations. But here's what's really frustrating. The measurement includes pockets even when they contain items that would otherwise be carried separately. Former luggage compliance analyst Jennifer Kim explains, external pockets are measured as part of bag dimensions, even when they contain items like documents or chargers that passengers would otherwise carry in their hands or personal items. This creates artificial size violations. The external pocket measurement creates size violations for bags with standard organizational features. Choose carry-ons with internal organization only. Avoid bags with external pockets that can add to overall dimensions when packed. If your current bag has external pockets, keep them empty during measurement or be prepared for potential size violations at the gate. Most organized travelers don't realize that helpful external features can now make their bags non-compliant with new measurement protocols. Carry-on issue number 6. Bags with telescoping handles that affect measurements. Your carry-on has a retractable telescoping handle for easy rolling. Standard feature on virtually all modern wheeled luggage. Completely normal construction that makes bags easier to maneuver through airports. Essential functionality for convenient travel. But that telescoping handle now affects measurement calculations in ways that can make your bag non-compliant. According to former airline equipment analyst Sandra Park, telescoping handles are being included in dimension measurements when extended, and some gate agents are measuring bags with handles partially extended even when passengers have them retracted. Here's what most travelers with wheeled luggage don't understand. The measurement protocols can include handle extensions as part of bag dimensions, making standard wheeled bags exceed size limits. Some agents measure bags with handles extended to their maximum length, while others include partial handle extension as part of overall bag size calculations. And the handle measurement varies by gate agent interpretation and training. This next detail will blow your mind. A sales manager flying from Phoenix to Dallas had his standard wheeled carry-on rejected because the gate agent measured it with the telescoping handle fully extended, adding 24 inches to the bag's height measurement. When he protested that the handle was retracted during travel, the agent explained that maximum dimension measurement includes all movable components in their extended positions. Current luggage measurement specialist Robert Martinez reveals, telescoping handle protocols vary by airport and agent training. Some measure bags with handles extended. Others include handle housing as part of bag dimensions, creating inconsistent enforcement. But here's what creates the most confusion. Handle measurement standards aren't published or consistent across airports. Former gate training coordinator Angela Davis explains, handle measurement training varies by airline and location. Passengers can't predict whether their telescoping handle will be included in size calculations because the standards aren't uniform or publicly available. The telescoping handle measurement creates unpredictable size violations for standard wheeled luggage. Be prepared for handle-related size issues even with bags that have passed previous inspections. Consider bags with minimal handle extension. If questioned about handle measurements, ask for supervisor clarification since protocols vary by agent and aren't consistently applied. Most travelers with wheeled luggage don't realize that standard telescoping handles can now be measured as part of bag dimensions. Carry-on issue number 5. Bags that meet size but exceed new weight restrictions. Your carry-on meets all published size requirements perfectly. Fits in airline sizing guides, measures correctly for length, width, and height specifications. You've verified dimensions carefully and know your bag complies with size regulations. But that compliant bag now exceeds unpublished weight restrictions that airlines have quietly implemented. According to former airline revenue analyst Monica Garcia, weight restrictions for carry-ons have been reduced below published limits in 2025, But airlines haven't updated customer communications. Bags that meet size requirements are being rejected for weight violations passengers don't know exist. Here's what most size-focused travelers don't realize. Airlines have implemented carry-on weight limits that are lower than what's published or previously enforced. Bags that measure correctly can still be rejected for exceeding weight thresholds that passengers have no way of knowing about in advance. And the weight restrictions are being enforced selectively to generate additional revenue through forced bag checking. This next case will shock you. A marketing executive flying from Miami to Chicago had her correctly sized carry-on rejected for weighing 28 pounds when the unpublished weight limit had been reduced to 22 pounds. She'd never had weight issues with the same bag and packing on previous flights. The gate agent explained that weight restrictions had been updated for operational efficiency, but couldn't provide any documentation of the new limits. Current weight enforcement coordinator Kevin Lee reveals carry-on weight limits have been reduced to force more bags into checked luggage. The new limits aren't published because we want passengers to discover them at the gate when they have no choice but to pay checking fees. But here's what's really predatory. The weight restrictions are enforced inconsistently to maximize revenue during peak travel periods. Former operational efficiency specialist Rachel Martinez explains, weight enforcement is increased during busy periods when airlines want to reduce carry-on volume. The same bag might pass during off-peak travel, but get rejected during holidays when we're trying to speed up boarding. The unpublished weight restrictions create unexpected bag checking fees for properly sized luggage. Pack carry-ons lighter than you think necessary. Assume weight limits are lower than published guidelines suggest. Consider weighing your packed bag before travel and removing items if it approaches weights that might trigger unpublished restrictions. Most travelers focused on size compliance don't realize that new weight restrictions can make properly sized bags non-compliant. Has your perfectly legal bag ever been rejected at the gate for something ridiculous? Drop your story in the comments. We might feature it in a future video. Now, issue number 4 affects 80% of the top-selling bags in America, and most passengers have no clue. Carry-on issue number 4, popular brand bags with non-standard construction. Your carry-on is from a popular, reputable luggage manufacturer. Major brand name, standard construction, widely sold and used by millions of travelers. You bought it specifically because it meets all published airline requirements and has good reviews from other users. This affects 80% of the most popular carry-on bags sold today, and passengers are only finding out their bags are illegal when they're standing at the gate with boarding about to close. According to former airline compliance specialist Thomas Kim, popular brand bags are being targeted for rejection based on construction details that don't match airline preferences. Even compliant bags from major manufacturers are being flagged for non-standard features. Here's what most brand-conscious travelers don't understand. Airlines have developed preferences for specific bag construction types and are rejecting popular brands that don't match their operational preferences. Bags with certain wheel configurations, handle placements, or internal structures are being classified as non-standard, even when they meet all published size and weight requirements. And the brand targeting appears designed to force passengers toward airline-preferred luggage types that generate less operational overhead. This next detail will blow your mind. A consultant flying from Seattle to Phoenix had her popular brand carry-on rejected because the 4-wheel spinner configuration was classified as non-standard for efficient boarding. The agent recommended bags with 2-wheel configurations that take up less aisle space during boarding. The same bag model is used by thousands of travelers daily, but it was rejected for operational efficiency reasons not published in any airline guidelines. Current boarding efficiency coordinator Jennifer Rodriguez reveals, popular brand bag rejections target luggage types that slow boarding or create operational challenges. We're steering passengers toward bag configurations that improve our efficiency metrics. But here's what's really manipulative. The non-standard classifications target the most popular and successful luggage designs. Former passenger equipment analyst David Park explains, the non-standard bag classifications specifically target features that passengers like: spinner wheels, external organization, and flexible sizing. We're rejecting successful bag designs to force passengers toward less convenient options that work better for airline operations. The popular brand targeting creates rejections for widely used luggage that passengers assumed was airline compliant. Research airline-specific bag preferences before purchasing new luggage. Popular brands may not align with airline operational preferences. Consider simpler bag designs with fewer features that airlines might classify as non-standard or operationally inefficient. Most travelers buying popular brand luggage don't realize that successful bag designs can be rejected for operational efficiency reasons. Carry-on issue number 3. Bags with smart features or electronic components. Your carry-on includes modern smart features or electronic components. Built-in charging ports, GPS tracking, digital locks, or weight sensors. Advanced luggage technology that makes travel more convenient and secure. But those smart features now violate new electronic device restrictions for carry-on luggage. According to former TSA technology coordinator Lisa Chen, smart luggage features are being classified as electronic devices that require separate screening and can be rejected if batteries aren't removable or features create security concerns. Here's what most tech-savvy travelers don't realize. Smart luggage features that seem convenient are now treated as potential security risks that can make bags non-compliant with carry-on regulations. Built-in batteries, electronic locks, or connectivity features all trigger enhanced screening that can result in bag rejection if the technology doesn't meet specific technical requirements. And the electronic restrictions are enforced inconsistently based on agent familiarity with smart luggage technology. This next case is unbelievable. A tech executive flying from San Francisco to Boston had his smart carry-on rejected because the built-in battery couldn't be removed for separate screening. The bag met all size requirements, but the electronic features were classified as non-compliant technology integration. He was forced to check the bag and disable all smart features to comply with electronic device restrictions he hadn't known existed. Current electronic screening specialist Michael Martinez reveals, smart luggage protocols classify electronic features as potential security risks. Bags with non-removable batteries or integrated technology can be rejected even when they meet traditional size and weight requirements. But here's what's most frustrating. Smart luggage rejection criteria aren't published or clearly communicated to consumers purchasing these products. Former technology compliance analyst Patricia Rodriguez explains, smart luggage restrictions aren't included in standard carry-on guidelines because the technology is evolving faster than our published policies. Passengers discover electronic restrictions when their bags get rejected at security or gates. The smart feature restrictions create unexpected rejections for modern luggage with convenient technology integration. Avoid smart luggage with built-in electronics for carry-on use. Choose traditional bags without electronic components or connectivity features. If you have smart luggage, research specific airline and TSA policies for electronic device integration before traveling. Most tech-conscious travelers don't realize that convenient smart features can make modern luggage non-compliant with carry-on regulations. Carry-on issue number 2. Bags that meet individual airline rules, but violate industry standards. Your carry-on complies with your specific airline's published requirements. Meet size, weight, and construction guidelines for the airline you're flying with. You've verified compliance with their specific carry-on policies and requirements. But that airline-compliant bag now violates new industry standard requirements that supersede individual airline policies. According to former airline industry coordinator Sandra Rodriguez, industry standard requirements have been implemented that override individual airline policies. Bags that meet specific airline requirements can be rejected for violating broader industry standards that passengers don't know about. Here's what most airline-specific researchers don't understand. Carry-on requirements have shifted from airline-specific policies to industry-wide standards that aren't clearly communicated to passengers. Bags that comply with individual airline guidelines can be rejected for violating industry requirements that take precedence over published airline policies. And the industry standards enforcement varies by airport and operational conditions. This next detail will shock you. A frequent flyer with airline status had her carry-on rejected despite meeting her airline's published requirements because it violated industry standard protocols that the gate agent couldn't clearly explain or document. The same bag had been approved on dozens of flights with the same airline, but new industry standards had superseded the airline's individual policies. Current industry compliance specialist Robert Kim reveals, industry standard enforcement allows agents to reject bags that meet airline-specific requirements if they violate broader industry guidelines. The industry standards take precedence over individual airline policies. But here's what's really confusing. Industry standards aren't published or accessible to consumers who research airline-specific requirements. Former regulatory compliance analyst Angela Martinez explains, industry standards are developed through industry organizations that don't publish consumer-facing guidelines. Passengers can't research industry requirements because they're not available to the public. The industry standard requirements create rejections for bags that meet researched airline-specific policies. Research multiple airline policies to identify common requirements that might reflect broader industry standards. Don't rely solely on individual airline guidelines since industry standards may override published airline policies. Most diligent researchers don't realize that airline-specific compliance doesn't guarantee acceptance under broader industry standard requirements. Don't say we didn't warn you. Carry-on issue number 1. Any bag that triggers revenue optimization algorithms. Your carry-on meets all published requirements and has passed previous inspections. Compliant with size, weight, construction, and feature requirements based on all available information. Perfect bag that should have no compliance issues. But that compliant bag gets rejected because revenue optimization algorithms have identified you as a candidate for forced bag checking fees. According to former airline revenue systems analyst Michael Park, revenue optimization algorithms analyze passenger profiles and selectively enforce carry-on restrictions to maximize bag checking revenue. Compliant bags can be rejected based on passenger value calculations rather than actual compliance issues. Here's what most compliant travelers don't understand. Carry-on rejection decisions are increasingly based on revenue optimization rather than actual rule violations. Airlines use passenger profiling to identify travelers who are likely to pay bag checking fees rather than fight rejections, then find reasons to reject their otherwise compliant bags. And the algorithmic enforcement means that identical bags receive different treatment based on passenger profiles rather than actual compliance. This final case will blow your mind. 2 passengers with identical compliant carry-ons were treated differently on the same flight. The business traveler's bag was rejected for exceeding guidelines, while the budget traveler's identical bag was approved. The gate agent system had flagged the business traveler as high revenue potential for forced bag checking. The revenue algorithm determined rejection decisions based on passenger value rather than actual bag compliance. Current revenue optimization coordinator Jennifer Chen reveals, passenger profiling systems identify travelers most likely to pay bag fees without complaint. We selectively enforce restrictions on high-value passengers while approving identical bags for passengers unlikely to generate revenue. But here's what's most predatory. The algorithmic enforcement creates different rules for different passengers based on revenue potential. Former passenger profiling specialist David Rodriguez explains, revenue optimization means that bag compliance is secondary to passenger value. We reject compliant bags from passengers who represent revenue opportunities while approving identical bags from passengers who don't. The revenue optimization algorithms create selective enforcement that targets high-value passengers regardless of actual bag compliance. Understand that bag rejection may be based on your passenger profile rather than actual compliance issues. Be prepared to advocate for your rights when compliant bags are rejected for unclear or inconsistent reasons. Most compliant travelers don't realize that bag rejection decisions may be based on revenue algorithms rather than actual rule violations. The revenue extraction system. Here's what all of these carry-on issues reveal about modern airline operations. Airlines have implemented sophisticated revenue extraction systems that use carry-on restrictions to generate additional fees from passengers who have already paid for flights. The restrictions are designed to appear legitimate while creating maximum opportunities for forced bag checking fees. According to former airline operations analyst Lisa Martinez, carry-on restrictions in 2025 are primarily revenue generation tools disguised as operational requirements. The goal is creating forced bag checking opportunities that passengers can't predict or avoid. and the system is designed to catch passengers at the gate when they have no choice but to pay fees or miss flights. Current Revenue Strategy Coordinator Patricia Kim reveals, gate enforcement timing is specifically designed to maximize fee collection. Passengers discover restrictions when they can't make alternative arrangements and must pay fees to board their flights. The unpublished rules. System. These carry-on rejections are part of a broader system of unpublished restrictions that airlines use to extract additional revenue. Passengers can't comply with rules they don't know exist, creating forced fee situations that appear to be passenger mistakes rather than airline revenue strategies. According to former airline policy coordinator Robert Chen, unpublished restrictions allow airlines to generate revenue while maintaining plausible deniability about fee extraction. Passengers think they made mistakes when they're actually victims of intentional policy obscurity. The unpublished rules create forced fees that passengers can't anticipate or avoid through compliance research. Final warning: the most important thing to understand is that carry-on compliance in 2025 has become a moving target designed to extract additional revenue. Rules change without notice, enforcement varies by passenger profile, and compliance doesn't guarantee approval. Your best strategy is to expect unexpected restrictions and be prepared for forced bag checking regardless of how compliant your bag appears to be. If you've experienced carry-on rejections that seemed inconsistent or unfair, you were likely targeted by revenue optimization systems rather than experiencing actual compliance issues. Remember, airlines are using carry-on restrictions as revenue generation tools, not just operational requirements. Prepare for fees, expect rejections. Pack light enough to avoid issues. Don't say we didn't warn you.